Okay, so this is just a little bit of review. We're going to go over this worksheet 5. Some of you don't have it done. Yeah, you need to be able to do all of them. Okay, and Luke, if you'd put your phone away, please, that'd be great. You might be doing it on your iPad, but most of you have a handout, so I shouldn't see too many iPads open unless you're checking answers. The first one is easy. That would be like an R2, graphing the first line. Luke, can you help me with that? I want to graph the first one. So it's y equals 2x minus 7. I like to get my answers right. So my recommendation is that you write down what the slope is and where you begin, where the y-intercept is. The slope is a fraction. It tells you how far over to how far up you're going to move, where the y-intercept tells you where you begin. So Luke, can you tell me what B is in that problem? 50-50 chance. There's only two numbers there. And all I want are numbers. I do not want any letters. Very good. Okay, Emily, what's the slope? 2 over what? 1. Okay? Yes, they were blue, but I made some extra copies, and I might have an extra copy yet. So check your answer. What I'm seeing is you're doing this one right. So you're going to get the R2s. That's good. But to get the A, you need the R3s. Okay, Zach, Colin, where do I begin? Where? Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now, how do I get another point? Demonte, do you know how to get another point? The slope is 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Now, if you don't put a bunch of points on there, Luke, you're not going to get the right line. And everybody should do well on this if you pay attention today. And I'm not even going to talk that long. Oops. I went over too many there. Now, I have lines on mine. I did my homework with a ruler. And if you see, I have tons of rulers here, so this is not an issue. Because if you're trying to find where these lines intersect, guess what? You have to be precise. You have no choice. Now, that's the R2 part of the lesson. Matt, how do I do the next one? No, I can't start anywhere. Not yet. Because I have 3x plus 6y. Nope. That's what I saw a lot of you doing, so you need to pay attention. You can't do that yet. You have to solve for y. Okay, Rusman, there is another way to do it. I kind of like my other way, but we're not going to do that. We're going to pretend that maybe we're going to use a graphing calculator. And I can't put this on my graphing calculator. I have to solve for y. So, Chris, how do I solve for y here? Remember, I want subtract what? Excellent. Now, if you have problems with that, pretend the x isn't there. It is there. But what would you do if you just had a 3? I know you all know how to do that because you did very well on your first test on that. You say, well, I just subtract 3. Well, this is even better because guess what? I'd have to do 18 take away 3 if it was just a 3. But it's not. It's a 3x. So it's even easier. That's what I love about it. This goes away. I check in my head. I get 6y. And I don't care if you put the 18 first or the negative 3x. Your choice. Tell me. What do you want to put first, the 18 or the 3x? 18. It does not matter. However, you have to recognize which one is the slope and which one's the y-intercept. So I have 6 times y, and I can't add those. I can't simplify those. That's what it is. That's why it's easy. I don't have to know any arithmetic. Love it. You have no idea how much I hate to do arithmetic. Okay, but I don't want 6 y's. I only want 1. So, Lexi, what do I have to do next? How do you undo that multiplying by 6? Divide by 6. Now, if you didn't do this on all the problems that had the x and y's on the same side of the equation, then you did your assignment wrong. And the only way you're going to know is to look it up online. I have all the answers up there. Check it. Don't copy it. Check it. So what I would do is not have your iPad out, do problems, go to that checkpoint, and then check it. Because if you can't do the first side here, if you can't graph number 4 on this worksheet, then we have troubles. And that needs to be fixed before you leave. And the end ones, there. Now the word problems were on the other one. Well, I'll have to look at that. I'll put my answers up. Okay, so y equals, and we divide. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And I don't know why you guys have your iPads open. We're looking at a problem here that I know I walked around the classroom and wasn't done properly in a lot of cases. What's 3 out of 6? What fraction is that? 1/2 x. Now, just keep myself straight. What's the slope and what's the y-intercept? I got two numbers there. I got a 3 and a negative 1/2. Very good. The slope is negative 1/2. Xavier, what's the y-intercept? 3. Okay, so where do we begin? Don't you like that B for begin? If you had trouble with it last year, it should be easier this year. I'm going to begin at 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3. And now, remember, negative slope. Some of you are graphing positive slopes. A negative slope is going to go down. You go left to right. So it's going to go down. And I'm going to start at my beginning point. And how do you want to do that? Katie, how do you want to do that? We'll start here. And I have a negative 1/2. And then over to the right, too. Let's do another one. Because if you do enough of points, they'll run into each other because it gave you nice numbers. So you go down 1 and you go to the right 2, and there it is. Lucky day. I'll have to fix that a little bit. And I did mine with a ruler, and then it came out fairly well, actually. Okay, so where do they intersect? Right there. What's the name of that ordered pair? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a good choice to do this problem because my answer key's wrong. I was off a little bit. And it's 4, 1. Make sure you get the right order and the right signs. And that's as hard as it gets. I don't think it gets any harder. This worksheet was not easy. In particular, but I'm not going to worry about it. Where's that next one? This one down here, this one was really hard. How do you do that one? Did you do that one? Yeah, because guess what? The y-intercept is at negative 16, and it doesn't fit on the graph. How do I know that? Because I got 3x minus y equals 16. I want to solve for y. So what do you do first? And if you didn't do this, you didn't do it right. Subtract 3x. Must always be y equals. And now what do I get? Careful. I get negative y. Some of you lost that. Both of my classes, I saw that being lost, is 16 minus 3x. And then what are you going to do? Divide by what? I don't want negative y. What do I divide by? What number's here? So let's divide by negative 1. You can multiply by negative 1. It's the same thing. So that I get y equals negative 16 plus 3x. And what's the beginning point? Where's your y-intercept? Where's the y-intercept? Chris, where's the y-intercept? Negative 16, and what's the slope? 3. Well, guess what? You can't get negative 16 on this graph. And if I have to find where the lines intersect, I have to be precise. So I didn't do that. I said, well, let's take this right here, and let's find a different x value. I suggested 5. Well, it turns out 5 is where the solution is. So let's try x equal to 4. When x is 4, I can find the y value. I don't have to put in 0. The y-intercept, x is 0. I don't have to do that. I can take any point on the line, which is nice because it's a nice little preview for how we'll be doing things later on. So y equals negative 16 plus 12. What's the y coordinate? Negative 16 plus 12 is 12 degrees, it drops 16. What's the temperature going to be? Positive or negative? Negative 4. So that's where we will graph this point at 4 comma negative 4. You know what? It doesn't matter where I start on my line. The y-intercept is convenient. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, from there, I can graph another point. I can put in another x value and evaluate. You can always do that. Or I can use the fact that the slope is 3, which means I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. Up 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. And there's my line. And you can see my y-intercept is not on my grid that I gave you. You could get a new grid. You have notability. You can change your background, if you don't know that, to a grid. Then you can do your own if you wanted to. You could do the negative 16. You could count by 2s if you wanted to. But then the slope is a little trickier. What about this one? Since we're here, might as well finish the problem. 2x plus y equals 9. What do we have to do with that? Max, what do we have to do with that? We're not working on iPads. We're working on our base sheet or you're checking answers. So I shouldn't be touching your iPad because there's no reason to except to look at an answer. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 2x because this is it. This is your day to make sure you understand the material. If you can do this worksheet, is there really anything to study? No. If you know how to do every problem on the worksheet, you're set. It's going to be a gorgeous night. Home and relax. Where do we begin here? It does fit. Zach, where do we begin on this one? It's just the number all by itself. That 2 is with the x. It's the 9. What's the slope then? Negative 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't want to go up. I'm going to go down 2 into the right 1. And I'm going to keep doing this until they intersect. Because otherwise, I don't trust my lines. By the way, some of you get 1/2 and 2 mixed up. So be careful. If you have a slope of 2 or negative 2, it's pretty darn steep. If it's 1/2, it's not so steep. Look at that. There they go. They intersect right there. Where do they intersect? What's that ordered pair? What's the x's? Just think, you always have to do the x's first. So it's over 5 and down 1. Over to the right. I don't know what else to do. Can't make it any easier because it's really not that hard. But if you don't practice and you don't check your answers, what's going to happen tomorrow? You're going to come in, you're going to take the test. Yeah, well, you might do it well. Who knows? But if you check your answers, you'll find out if you did do it well. I don't like the solutions I found for worksheet 6. So I'll have to find those. Are there other questions? Otherwise, I'm just going to let you work. And if that's not the right answer key, I'll get the right one up. Some of them are parallel. Number 9 is, no, this is 1/3. We get 2y. Oh, no, never mind. See, I can't do it in my head. Yeah, they're parallel. I don't know if my answers are right, though, what I put up there. But I'll find out. So that's everything you have to do. Graph a line. This would be R3. Now, here's the thing. When I grade this, it has to be 100% correct. If one of these lines is wrong, it doesn't matter. It's wrong. So tomorrow, when you take this, there aren't that many questions. There's 12 questions. Take your time. Take your time. Double check to make sure your line's right when you're intersecting them, Zach. Yeah, the stapler's not working particularly well. So double check it, because if you graph something wrong,